Sierra Leone is one of 3 West African nations at the epicenter of the worst Ebola outbreak on record, which has killed close to 4,500 people since first appearing in the Guinean forest last December. With the death toll rising, effects of the epidemic have been devastating to the country. About 65% of Sierra Leone's 6 million people depend on agriculture, which represents about 40% of the national economy. So the Ebola emergency and its impact on farming are dragging down overall economic growth. Ebola's effect on the agricultural sector in Sierra Leone is most visible in the abandoned villages that are now becoming a feature in the countryside. Farm workers are dying from the virus or are stuck in quarantined areas of the country.
With the health emergency at this time, a lot of their husbands have died, a lot of our farmers have lost their families. The strong men that are supposed to work, the youths, are also in quarantine places because most of them have died, our children have died, so they cannot undertake serious agriculture. And like that, those farmers are fed in the villages.
The finance minister said a whole planting season could be lost. Growth this year is expected to slow to 8% from over 11% forecast earlier in the year, and inflation is expected to climb to 10% by the year end from 7.5% as food prices rise due to shortages.
Before the Ebola, the agricultural sector was high, contributing to over 45% of the GDP, as even reported by World Bank. We are on top. We were on top in terms of food security in this country. But as a result of the Ebola, there are a lot of constraints in and around the farmers, even with us as a ministry.
The Agriculture Ministry has been meeting with local farmers to hear how they've been affected by the outbreak and what they can do to help stem a potential food security crisis.
Now the Ebola is everywhere. So let them give more food to FAO, WFP, and development partners to be able to support the case management aspects of components of the response to the Ebola, like supporting the quarantine homes, affected and affected farmers, the women, the youth, the children. All of those need to be supported so that in as much as we're fighting on the sick, we also need to be healthy and remain nutritious.
Back in the capital, Freetown, the price of vegetables has increased as the quarantine zones restrict the merchants who bring in harvested food from the rural farming villages into urban areas. Merchants must find alternate routes in order to supply urban markets.
Yeah, so very difficult, so it's longer for we.
It is very difficult for us now. There is not much trading as before. We used to have huge stock of vegetables from the provinces, but now because of the travel restrictions, the traders have to use some illegal crossing, and that has made buying very hard.
As food security worsens, the World Food Programme is trying to provide food to around 1.3 million people in the 3 worst affected countries. According to their website, up to 400,000 people in Sierra Leone are targeted under the regional response for the next 3 months. Penina Karibe, CCTV.